Whoops. That's too loud. Sorry about that. I know, right before we hit a putt, we back off. But look, we're only on the first hole. So let's go back and hit the putt, and let's confirm the mic is working. Yes, it is. Sorry about that. No mic working in the beginning. That's okay. Thanks for joining me anyway. All right, we're in for a par on number one. Not a great approach shot. Probably a little bit of a poor decision because it's probably better to swing aggressively at that 5-iron than a little softer on the 7-wood. So out with par though, so put that one in the rear view mirror and let's see what we've got on the short number 2, par 4, 352 yards. That's not going to stay in the fairway. That's a little too spinny. That's all right. It's not terrible, but it's not a fairway. It's not exactly taking advantage of my natural ball shape there. So shot shape 138, downhill 4. I'd say let's be confident with the 8-iron and just swing it smooth. That's blocked off to the right, but not terribly. But not enough to even get there. Again, just swinging a little softer than I need to. Let's get it up there. 17 yards, uphill 3 feet. And gonna have to putt that, it looks like. So we're gonna keep myself honest on these first starting holes. Cleaning up some pars. Looks like 5 feet 1 inch, barely touch it. And we are in for par as we go to the 147-yard par 3, number 3, 147 yards and downhill 9 yards. So I think we can comfortably hit that 9-iron there. Signature par 3. Hang glider in the background. Let's go. A little off balance, obviously, and a little short. Okay, everything's short, so just not swinging it great and not fully loose, I guess, is kind of a combination there. Let's get that insert set in. Probably time to replace the insert, but it's been like that for a couple days. Wow, I'm having to putt everything so far. All right, we're moving a little bit, but it's an awfully short putt, so let's just move it off there just a hair. I don't even want to give that. I really don't. So don't push it. Just hit it straight. All right, we're in for our third scrambling par. I guess it's good for the scrambling statistics, but I'd sure prefer to be fairways and greens or closer to. Although, as I mentioned yesterday, this tee distance starts to stretch out my short knocking game a bit. So let's see what we can do. Up the hill 5 yards. It's a little guided and guarded, but it gets out there decently. Up the hill, there's not a lot of wind to worry about, obviously, so I think in the next round we'll probably see the wind. We're uphill, 3 feet 9 inches, 184 yards. We've come up short on everything so far, so I'm gonna hit the amount of club that it takes. And that needs to fade hard for a guy. Come on, all the way. All right, again, I'm just short with everything out front, not hitting anything crisply so far. So let's see if we can correct that, get ourselves a little up and down. Uphill about 9 inches, and it's only 12 yards away. That should get in the gimme. It does. Another scrambling stat, but let's try to get back on track here. 390-yard par 4, downhill 5 yards. Should come back toward the middle a little bit. It's too much spin on it, but I'm kind of playing it at the moment, so not going to complain. Leaves a reasonable iron in there. Looks like we're got a little bit of a side hill lie there, right? 2.5 degrees, not too bad, but it'll move a little bit right on me. So we're going to have a look. I know we're already at the edge of the green, so I'm not going to aim more than that. If I miss, it's going to fade to the middle. 160, downhill 4 yards. I think the greens are holding the ball pretty well right now. So we're going to hit a little too much club, which is a 6 iron, because we've been short on everything. And again, I'm going to block that off away from the flag. So yeah. Okay, well, have we hit a green yet? No, we have not. Still have not hit a green, even on the shorter holes. So 21 yards. And that's not nearly enough. That was just not a good shot. Well, a lot of ways to make a bogey, and that's a stupid one. Just chip it all the way. I tried to get just a little cute. 19 feet 6 inches, uphill 8 inches. So we're going to treat it a little bit 20 plus. It's going to take all of that break. I really think so. Not that much break though. I pulled that 0.7 degrees, probably pulled the difference in making it. So there's the first bogey. Can't lean on the short game as hard as I have been so far. So we come to number 6, the par 5, with hopes that we can get something back here, but tall order to be working from behind all the time. Short par 5, but still a 3-shot par 5 for this short knocker. Around the corner a little bit though, right? Right in the fairway. Driver feels a little better today. You see though, I'm still just not a long hitter, so we're working hard for every par once the tees get this long. So 279 out, let's get within that kind of favored sand wedge range, which is right about 50 to 60 really. Getting better statistically from that distance all the time. Now that's got too much movement on it, so I won't be on the short grass. All right, bleeding off to the right, and even not as much distance as I would have liked to that. So we got 82 yards down the hill, 2.9, just a hair of wind in, coming out of the thicker rough. I don't want to overhit it, but I want to get it there, and it's soft. So I'm going to go right at it. 52-degree wedge. And way short again. No matter what it is, that felt decent. Probably heard the ball sneak through there, jump through the back seam of the enclosure. And here's a long bomb birdie attempt, not what I was envisioning. So tiny bit of a double break. It's going to move more that way, and then at the end come that way. So I think it's about like that. It's basically 2 screens up the hill. Settle right there. Pushed it a little by. Was never really had a chance. I got to putt this at 5 feet exactly, so just barely on the wrong side there. Let's move that over just ever so much and put away this par. Okay, well, we're 1 over after the first 6 and faced with a long par 4. I'm going to try to have to play the shape, but it's a pretty long dogleg right, so I'm going to err on the left side of this fairway even if it makes the hole a little longer. And that's going to fade back gently to where I like it. And we've still got 200 yards or so. Downhill 5 yards. Let's try to send the 7-wood all the way back. It's kind of the theme here. I just don't have enough club or enough swing or some combination of the two. Let's go. Stick. Just stick right there. All right. First, is that the first green in regulation? No, the second, I guess. Okay, this is going to move just ever so slightly, but it is going to move. I think it's going to move slightly more than that. We're going to come over here and put this about right there, and I think it moves that much. So downhill 4 inches, 19.1. We're going to play it just like it's the screen here. Play it like it's a 15-footer. Let's have one, huh? There we go. Gets it back. Gets it back. What do you know? And he gets it back on the long par 4. So a little bit of revenge for not having taken advantage of the other ones. This is the prevailing wind here, the other short par 4s. This is the prevailing wind here. It moves a little left or a little right, and I tend to miss a little right anyway. So let's just cut those into the center, take away or add some margin of error. Uphill 7 yards. And again, this is, I've been coming up short. It is uphill 24 feet. The wind's moving off to the right. I'd rather be deep than short again, so let's see. Well, it's a straight ball and it's too far. It's okay. Not terrible. At least the feeling of a good flush iron is what I needed right there. So we've got 18 yards. Downhill 8 inches. And that's just way too far. I just chipped it off the green. All right, we're gonna have to chip one in to make up for it. And I've been, if you've been following me this week, this has been the big frustration is after a birdie, almost always comes the bogey right now. So it's tough to get a lot of birdie momentum when you're doing that. Thought I might have stolen one, but I did not. So we're back up to 1 over, and we come into number 9. At least the good news is it is another short par 4 or par 5. Got a tiny bit of tailwind, and it's downhill. So if ever there was a hole, here it is. But we're going to play it like a 3-shotter. Favor the left side again. Going to move a little right for a guy. Yeah, good. Okay, I like that. That'll get out there just enough. It's not a huge shot. Definitely not going to reach too far out there. The greens are a little softer. So let's get up there close again and see if we can get that sand wedge in our hands. That's really close to what I want to do with the 3-wood. Really close. Just missed it, but it's okay because it's going to get me into the range I wanted to be in, right? Right? It's close. I think it is actually still. Let's play this in here with the feel. 45, a little shorter. Sit. All right. Not bad. I do not mind being that aggressive and putting myself in a decent position here. Right, kind of what I was hoping to draw up. Let's get that to move that much. There we go. Collect another birdie and get out of the front 9 at even par. Not too bad. And an immediate short par 4, number 10, is 346 yards and uphill 2.5 feet. So again, we're going to favor the left side and hope to put ourselves in good approach position. All right. Pretty good driving day thus far. We are, where are we? 117 yards out, downhill 3 inches. The greens are definitely holding it. My irons are getting a little bit better, but I'm still hesitant to go full bore at it. So we're going to go full bore at it. This is a pitching wedge, downhill 3 inches, wind just ever so slightly at my back. And I hit it even a little deep, but at least I got to look at it. So, 21 feet or so. Snapping off to the right just a hair. It's actually a pretty good amount of break. It's at least that much for the very beginning. Not that much for the middle. And it's about that much for the end. Yes, it is. All right. Let's grab that birdie and get back to under par. And that was a good birdie to steal. We move on to par 3 here, 9 yards down the hill. I'm going to go with the 5-iron. I know, might be a little much as downhill as it is, but I'm not hitting the ball super flush with irons today. So. It's not going to even stay on the green. It just might have too much fade. Yep. All right, 19 yards. All right, not going to go into the hole, but it's a nice up and down out of the bunker. And now we move on to number 12, a little bit of a longer par 4 that usually makes me lean on my short game pretty good, but this one's downhill. There's not much wind hurting, so let's just get a drive out there. Yeah, came over the top of that ball, which I usually do, so that's the miss sometimes. Get over everything. All right. This one's downhill 5 feet. 215 yards away. Winds picked up just a tiny bit. There's a 3-wood. And that's going to be blocked off to the right. So yes, the short game will be heavy in play here. 53 yards. Got the sand wedge again. I like that. That's going to get us our par out of here. Okay, let's move on to another par 5. Number 13 is 516 yards and uphill quite a bit. So it would be a 3-shot par 5 no matter what. But now it requires a pretty good second shot. Boy, I've been over there before. Be careful right there. Okay. We're going to use 7-wood to get over into the next decent section, and we're still going to have a pretty heavy iron to go from there. So maybe I should hit 3-wood. Hit 3-wood. I got to get a little further down there. Keep it control and don't let it leak too far right. But as you can see, I still got a little bit considering how high uphill it is. Oh God, don't hit the path. Okay. Yeah, after 2, 4, this is the 5th round on this course this week. So starting to get a little familiar. So 126 uphill 7 yards. I'd normally hit 9-iron right here. Then it goes to 8-iron because it's up the hill so much. It's out of the rough, but the rough's not really affecting the flight so much as leaving the spin on the ball when it or taking the spin off. So when it lands, it tends to run out a little bit. So we can hit 8-iron. And then thin it and hope for the best. Oh, yes, the best. Okay, that is the best outcome from that thin of a shot. So a little rapid fire iron shot there. I can be better than that. So here's a birdie attempt from 14 feet. I'm seeing about that much. I really am. It's an 11 stimp. Don't know if I mentioned that. Get it? Got it. Stole one. Gets to -2. I like that a lot. Let's see what we can do to finish as we get to 14, a 390-yard par 4, which is a little bit toward longer for me. I mean, I'll still get a mid-iron or longer short iron, but downhill 10 yards, and I don't think that wind's hurting too much at only 3 miles an hour. So. All right, should play into a decent angle to it too, right? All right, 148 and downhill. So I think this probably is 8-iron. Seems like a lot right now. So I think I'm going to hit 7-iron and just kind of let it be. And if I miss, it'll probably move to the right, so away from the danger zone it's in right now. That was a little weird. All right, we get a little bit of a been playing a lot, been swinging a lot. Let's see if we're going to be able to keep going here. All right, here we go. It's going to block off to the right, kind of like I predicted, and then sit down right there. It's soft enough that it should handle that. And it, hey, you know, it's a 30-footer, but crazier things have happened. And it looks like it's really only moving that way. And it's moving about that much for the middle total, plus the end. I don't think it's much further than that. I'm gonna hit it there. Try to give it 2 screens. It's flat elevation-wise. That might be too much. Settle right there, just settle, 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 settle. Yep, that's too much. Should have a reasonable putt coming back. Yeah, it moves a tiny bit and it's 7.5 feet. But again, it's flat. I just hit that too hard. Didn't really hit it on line. I pulled it off 0.3 of a degree, which I guess if I hit it at the right speed, it has a chance. Okay, let's just hit this one straight. All right, we're in there for par. And we go to number 15. Another short par 4, so let's see if a short knocker can take advantage of that. Oh, right pocket over there on the fairway, probably. There we go. Definitely a little tightness in the wrist all of a sudden. Intended to play 2 rounds today, but we'll see. 114 yards, uphill 2 inches. Wind is not much, but it's there. So what we're going to do is throw a very normal pitching wedge. Just, I think they call this a stock pitching wedge. And I like it. I like it a lot. Come on, roll out just a little bit. Okay, leaves me with a good look at it though. 9 feet. 9 feet and barely moving at all. I like my stock pitching wedge more and more. So 8 feet 10 inches. It is moving, but barely. My focus here, since my tendency often is to pull the putt, I just have to make sure I send it straight. 8 feet 10 inches. Like that. Okay, so we're in for another birdie, which gets us to -3. And we head to number 16. A little bit of a longer par 3. But I think this is the comfortable 7-wood with that distance down the hill and maybe the wind helping. Mostly just across to the left there, as you can see. Oh, and I hit the worst possible shot at the worst possible time. Sit down, right there. Just sit down. Should be soft. Just sit down. Give me a shot. Tree in my way? No, the tree's not in my way. Coming uphill. We are coming uphill out of the rough, but not the deep rough. Uphill 1 feet 9 inches. Not really much wind to speak of. This is the right distance, right? Sure is. All right. I like that. Sneaking one out of there. So 405 yard par 4, number 17. Straight forward. Uphill 9 yards, which makes it a little bit long for me. So I just got to smoothly find another fairway here. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Off to the right hand side just a hair. .189 left, uphill 4 yards, a little bit of wind in the face, and I think this is, again, this is just the trusted 7-wood, and hope we can get it all the way up and back there. Wow, okay, yeah, I mean, I knew it. There's so much spin on it, I swung way too hard, and the result is way short. But, you know, I would not have hit my 5-iron there. 5-iron's not getting there, so it doesn't matter. It's a mood issue. Okay, 20 yards, uphill 4 feet 8 inches. And that should get in the gimme. It does indeed. And now we head to 18 at 3 under. It's a short par 5, but if you're familiar with it, the pond's out front left. Wind, not really a factor, but I think it's a 3-shot because of the configuration. It's a 3-shot par 5 for me no matter what. And I hit it. I swung too hard. There's no other way to put it. But again, it's a 3-shot par 5. So who really cares? Let's just get a good approach shot or a good second shot here. Let's just give ourselves a little bit of insurance by having a look at where we'd go. That's 250. What I want to do is make sure that 7 was not in play at all here, and it's not. This is our line. There's just no way. It's downhill a little bit, but not enough to get me there. Plus, if anything, it's going to move a little straight or right. Okay, it's going to give a good iron at it. We're 100 yards away and uphill 2-8 to a receptive green. Let's see if we can throw. This one's a little bit less than the stock pitching wedge that I fell in love with back on 17, or when was that? 15. A little bit less than that. Kind of like that, but I just blocked. I didn't hit it well, so no, not even close. Let's get our layup putt here and lag it up there. Ooh, a little interesting way to end it, but it's not elevation change, so we should know the basic speed. It's moving a lot. Moving that much? Probably not that much. Probably more like that, and then full 2 screens. Oh, wow. Almost hit a bomb to close it out. And that is it. A 3 under with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birdies, 2 bogeys. Let's look at the stats real quick. The stream time's adding up, but that's okay. Join me here to look at the stats. Total putting of 127 feet, total putts of 22. I hit 71% of fairways, 44% of greens, 11 pars, 5 birdies, 2 bogeys. Average ball speed 138.28 and the best ball speed of 140. So here's your average drive. Here's your longest drive. Appreciate you joining me. That is round 1 on the Pro Tour, on the Pro Tees of the SGT Tour. I'm going to cut this stream, as I've been doing the last couple of days, start a new one in just a few moments where we play the second 18. So join me right back for another one. Talk to you very soon. Thanks again.